I feel comfortable riding this bike without my hands on the handlebar. I do have to balance a little bit. So it looks like, I guess if you have a solar panel, you could plug that into here. I think this port here is if you want to plug something into your battery. This is kind of like a battery and a power station. We received what I would consider like a street cargo bike. I don't know another name for these kind of bikes because they're kind of like the length of like a moped style e-bike, a little bit longer than a moped style e-bike, but they also have like an adjustable seat and they don't have like the motorcycle style front fork. So I don't really know what you call these kind of bikes. I call it urban cargo bikes because usually the rear rack is built into the bike. So we received what might be the best urban cargo bike of 2025. I say that because this bike has a 2,000 watt motor with a 3,800 watt peak, advertised to go 40 miles an hour. It has a 48 volt, 55 amp hour battery, advertised to go 150 miles to charge. The maximum weight of the rider is 400 pounds on this bike. Me and my brother and fellow e-bike connoisseur Tyo is gonna test out the range and everything. So the bike that we received is a WALLKE H7 step through. On the email they sent me, they said this is the Ultra. To purchase this e-bike, feel free to use my link and my code in the description below to get a discount. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna unbox this, put it together, go through all of the features. And unboxing it is gonna be interesting because this bike came like on a crate. Like go on-road, go off-road, test out the range, speed, all that cool stuff. And I am still doing the e-bike giveaway. If you want to be included in the giveaway, comment below what type of e-bike you would like. Also, you have to be subscribed to the channel. When I get to 40,000, I'll be giving one of you commenters and one of you subscribers an e-bike.
Can I be on that giveaway?
Sure. You want a bike? What kind of bike you want? This bike better be undamaged. They made sure they packed it to the teeth. So this is what the bike looks like fresh out the box. I highly doubt that anything is damaged on this bike considering all of the wrapping and packaging that they did. Looks like it's a storage that you can, I guess, install on your rear rack to carry things. We have a front fender that we're gonna have to install and a seat cushion that you can put on your rear rack in case you want to ride with a passenger, I guess. And we got some rear view mirrors. And I think these are the kinds that I can actually use. So now let's go ahead and get this bike unwrapped. So we got everything unwrapped. Doesn't look like anything was damaged. So we are gonna have to put our front wheel on. And this is a 20x4 Aerosun. I would consider this like a street tire, not necessarily all-terrain tire, because it is pretty grippy, but it's not like really an all-terrain tire because of how smooth the surface is. We're also gonna have to put our handlebar on, which is attached via wires. This bike also came with a box and looks like the charger. So let's see what's in the small box now. A heavy duty set of Allen wrenches that I can actually use. Pretty standard headlight. I had that headlight on several other e-bike. Pedals, which are labeled, and it looks like the pedals fold. More wrenches that I actually used again. And our owner's manual, let's look into that, especially how to put our wheel on using this front axle here. Looks like that cord, we plug it directly into the battery. So there's not really a battery charger, there's only a battery cord. Instructions seem pretty straightforward. Always like it when they include pictures. Look like these instructions also go through your advanced settings, which we don't always get in these e-bike manuals, so that's good. Quick look at the warranty here. The first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and put our front wheel on. So it's kind of hard to tell from the instructions, but I think this rubber cup that came on the axle here, that's here. And I think we're gonna put the front fork here, and then all of the other washers are gonna go outside of the front fork. We're gonna have to take this front fork off this wheel again because these washers, and that's just one washer, it looks like it's 3, they go inside of your front fork here. Inside your front fork, you're gonna have this rubber cup, you're gonna have this washer. So we're gonna put the washer on this way. We had to unscrew this and these screws on the side so that we can turn this around and put our handlebar on. And so now we have to align this with our front wheel. And after we got it aligned, we're going to tighten it up here, tighten up these screws on the side. We got this bike put together, only took us about 30 minutes. It was pretty easy. This bike is pretty long for a street bike. It's about 6 feet 4 inches from wheel to wheel here. The seat at its lowest point from the floor is about 2 feet 9 inches. The handlebar, which is kind of adjustable, you can adjust the angle. Where we have it now is like 3 feet 10 inches from the floor. We are going to go ahead and do the off-road test, even though these are more street tires, just to see what it's like. They have some level of grip to them, so I really like the look of this bike for a cargo bike. I think it's one of the better looking cargo bikes that I've seen with the large battery. You can only do so much to make a bike with those kind of features look good, but I think it's a decent looking bike. Let me know what y'all think. Look at that suspension. And although this is a pretty standard suspension, I've had it on a few other e-bikes. I like coil suspension over like air suspension. I think it gives you better rebound. Give y'all a look at this rear suspension. We do have suspension on the front of the bike. Looks like you can adjust it. So right now we have it to open, right? But if you want to lock out your suspension, let's say you're on a flat surface, you can turn it this way. We're gonna go ahead and open it all the way. Give y'all a look at this front suspension. You can use the bike pump to put air in here or take air out. Have a look at our rear and front 203 millimeter Logan hydraulic brakes. This bike seat seems pretty soft and it's a bit bigger than the bike seats that we normally get. And this bike seat does have like a lever on the back. You push that up and then you can do the bike seat like that, and then you can easily access your battery. And I've never had this battery on a bike before. It's pretty involved, you know what I mean? It has a screen on it where you can get information like this. It makes a noise as soon as you turn the bike on, like you can kind of hear the battery humming. And this battery does have a few ports on it. This port here is what you're going to use to plug this in order to charge your battery. Obviously you can charge the battery while it's on the bike. If you want to remove the battery, then you turn the key that way, take the key out, grab this handle, lift your battery out of your bike. I think this port here is if you want to plug something into your battery. Let's say you're out and about and you want to charge your phone or charge your laptop. I guess you can plug that into here in order to charge it using this battery. We also have a port for solar input. So it looks like, I guess if you have a solar panel, you could plug that into here. Looks like we also have USB ports that you can use to charge your cell phone. This is an official power station, not just a battery for this bike. So, and I guess if you do want to use your battery to charge something, there is a button that you can use here to turn it into a power station. Now I can appreciate the aluminum chain wheel cover. The plastic ones just get damaged a little too quickly. Again, this is a cargo bike, so it has a built-in rear rack with this seat cushion on the back. This handlebar is pretty standard for a e-bike. It's about 2 feet 4 inches wide. Looks like you have this hard, kind of like a sticky plastic filling handlebar grips. Looks like you have 7 gears for pedaling. In addition to being able to charge your phone from your battery, looks like you can also charge your phone with this USB port under your panel. We're now going to go ahead and turn this display on. I'm going to press and hold the power button, and that turns my pretty standard display on. I've had this display on a few other e-bikes. Quick look at this display. Looks like we have our battery life at the top. We did fully charge our battery. We have our speed calculator here. Pretty sure you can change that from miles per hour to kilometers if you want to. We have our pedal assist modes here. It looks like by default we have, click the plus button, 3 different pedal assist modes. Down here we have more information on the display. We have our trip mileage, how many miles we've ridden on our last bike ride. We haven't ridden the bike at all, so if I click the I button on my panel, I'll get more information on my display. That's my trip mileage, my odometer, my maximum miles per hour on my last bike ride, average miles per hour. Now that we are in a pedal assist mode, I want to show y'all that we do have a twist throttle for throttle only. Over here on my panel, if I click this button, that turns my pretty standard but bright headlight on and my rear light on. And that rear light is also a brake light. We're not going to go through some of our advanced settings. I'm not going to go through all of them because again, it is in your manual. So to go into your advanced settings, you're going to press and hold the plus and the minus button. So to go from one setting to the next, you click the plus or minus button. To change the setting, then you click the I button. This first one, P01, is how bright do we want our display. We're going to keep it at a 3. Click the I button to save that value. P02 is how do we want to calculate our speed. Do we want to do miles per hour or kilometers? We're going to keep it at miles per hour. P04 is how many minutes do we want to go by before the bike turns off automatically. We're going to change that to 15 minutes. P05 is we can change how many pedal assist modes we have. By default we have 3. If we want to change that, we can do that here. P08 is our speed limit settings. So how fast can we go on this e-bike? And then we're going to change the limit speed here. Looks like the max says 62, and I believe that's in kilometers. So we're going to put that value in there. P09 is if you want to put a password on this display. So unfortunately, I'm not seeing where you can adjust your pedal assist sensitivity or your takeoff speed. So all right, what you giving that suspension scale 1 to 10? Huh?
Smooth like butter. 9.5.
9.5. WALLKE power station electric bike. What are your thoughts?
This is a smooth but heavy bike. Suspension is
top notch. You like it, huh? You like coil suspension. Okay.
It feels like air is catching the bumps or anything.
The street tires?
Yeah. For it to be, it looks like it would be slippery, but it actually did well.
Had some good grip on it.
Good grip as long as it's dry. We did run into some wet area. I hit the throttle,
okay.
And it was like a car when it gets stuck in the mud.
Oh, really?
The turns were okay. Yeah, I didn't feel too bad. I didn't feel like as safe as the moped. The mopeds are real.
Okay, so not as safe on a moped when you're turning, but not bad.
But not bad. The seat is not bad either.
Okay, you like the seat.
Bad. Yeah, the thing I do not like about this bike. Y'all, do you not want women to ride this bike?
Why you say that?
Because you have to.
You got to kick pretty hard.
For the pedal assist to go into effect and stay. I want to be able to sometimes just chill and just pedal all nice and smooth.
It would benefit for them to have some pedal assist sensitivity feature.
Yeah.
What you giving this bike on a scale from 1 to 10?
I'm gonna give this a good 7.5. If you fix the kick, I give it a 8.5.
We're gonna start by going through some gravel here. See just how much slipping we get. Oh, not bad actually. I thought I would get more, especially since it rained yesterday, but not a whole lot of slipping here. So now I normally would not advise to lean into your turns unless you have like all-terrain tires. But I feel comfortable leaning on this bike. I think the bike has enough grip on them. The tires have enough grip on them for me to lean. So I feel comfortable leaning, but you lean at your own leisure. Me, because the bike is so low to the floor, and because it has a nice wide handlebar, I feel comfortable leaning. And of course, because of the tires, I feel comfortable leaning. I like leaning because I feel like it gives you more control of your turns. So we're now gonna go off-road with some hills, test out these tires, but mainly test out the suspension. All right. It does seem like so far the front suspension is better than the back one, but let's keep going. All right, suspension is just okay. Again, the front suspension is better than the back one. There's a bit of shaking going on with that rear suspension.
Or maybe because that big battery is back there, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe you need a larger coil suspension to accommodate such a big, heavy battery to prevent your bike from doing too much shaking when you are going off-road. But I know this is more of a street bike, not really an off-road bike. So you know, scale of 110, slippery tire. Let's see how I do going down here. Okay, not bad. Scale of 110, I get a suspension maybe a 7. Now, again, I cannot adjust the pedal assist sensitivity, but this bike does feel like a torque sensor, which I like the most because that means it takes into account how hard you're pedaling. It's not just trying to get you to the speed for that particular mode. It takes into account how hard you pedal. That usually makes for a more comfortable bike ride for me because the bike is not sending you and you just go ghost pedaling. But at the same time, I think it could be a little bit more sensitive. I feel like it's a little too gradual. I'm gonna show you all what I'm talking about. I'm in mode 1. I'm gonna go ahead and brake here. I'm gonna switch it to mode 3. Pedal normally, okay? And I'm in my 7th gear. I'm gonna pedal normally. And so when I pedal normally, I'm still going around 13 miles per hour. Now mode 1 took me like 10 to 12 miles per hour. Okay, I'm at 14 miles per hour, right? But that's because I'm pedaling normally. Now if I really kick that pedal down, see, now I can go, and I have to continue to kind of kick it. So now I'm going 21. Now I'm up to like 21, 22 miles per hour in mode 3. And I did switch it to 5 different pedal assist modes. Mode 3 is right in the middle. Go ahead and brake. The brakes are good, but out the box they are kind of rigid. Like you really have to push in that left brake, front brake. So hopefully that's not because we made a mistake in putting that front wheel on. I also want to say there is like a click that I hear when I pedal. Y'all can really hear the click now, right? Hear that? With that and the front brake being so kind of hard, kind of rigid, I would say make sure you take this bike to your nearest bike shop after you put it on. Just have them do a tune-up, make sure everything is okay, make sure you installed everything correctly. Now I'm 5'11", 6 feet with shoes on. I would say this bike is decent for a guy my height or somebody even shorter. I do wish the handlebar was pushed up a little bit more, so I would be adding like a handlebar extender to it if I was to decide to keep this bike. And I do have the seat up pretty high because of the contraption that you can use to fold your seat, and also because I have a camera down there. But I do wish I could bring the handlebar up, but it's not super bad. Like I can still ride in a commuter style posture here. And this bike is pretty comfortable, especially in mode 3. It's not very shaky. I think I definitely feel comfortable. I feel comfortable riding this bike without my hands on the handlebar. I do have to balance a little bit. That's normally not the case with like this moped style handlebar. But that lets you know just how smooth and comfortable this bike is. See how fast we go in throttle only, so I'm not pedaling at all. We got up to 26, 27 pretty quickly. 29, 30, 31, 33, 34. But I'm kind of going downhill a little bit. Okay, here we go. This is the real test. 33. 34. Wow. I'm not encouraging you to take your e-bike and put it in the street, but I do think this is a perfect e-bike for the streets. You have all your bells and whistles you would need for the streets. Headlight, rear light, brake light. It would be nice to have turning signals, but and it has some size to it, especially because of the battery. It has some weight to it, so the wind is not really swaying you back and forth. And this bike is pretty comfortable for a long range, I guess, street bike. Although this bike is a bit long, because you can make some pretty sharp turns in this bike, and because it's kind of short, I do think this bike is also a great bike for more like urban areas like this one, because you can make those sharp turns. I think you can avoid people and things pretty quickly, pretty easily on this bike. So yeah, I think this is a great bike, not only for the streets, but also for urban areas. I think you can avoid people and things pretty easily on this bike, mainly because of the handle, the turns, and how short it is, you know, and because it's a step through. So if it's a situation where you need to quickly get off the bike to avoid hitting somebody or to hit something, you know, you get off pretty quickly, you know what I mean? So we're now gonna go max speed, pedal assist. And again, it's gonna be interesting because I have to kick so hard to get it to go up to the maximum speed for my particular mode. So I'm gonna try, especially when I get through this turn. Gotta really kick it though, right? 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Okay, briefly hit 32. Trying to kick it here. All right, we'll just say like 30 miles per hour. So we're gonna go mode 5, throttle only, up a hill. And this is a pretty steep hill. Out there it's about a 35, 40 degree hill. We'll see how much speed we lose going up this hill. I'm at 28 miles per hour going into the hill. And this hill also has a turn. So let's see. I'm in the meat of the hill now. I'm in the steepest part. 28, 25, 23, 22. All right, around 22. All right, that's pretty good. So I only lost about 6 miles per hour. I usually lose like 9 to 10. So
WALLKE H7 Ultra. What I like the most about this bike is the battery life. I went on an 18-mile bike ride. I spent 5 of those miles going max speed pedal assist. I spent 1 mile going max speed throttle only. The rest of the time I was in mode 3 pedal assist. In those 18 miles, I only lost 11% of my battery life. So yeah, that's definitely over 100 miles of charge based on my bike ride. I also like the fact that this bike is a power station that you can charge with a solar panel. I love the fact that you can plug your laptop and phone to the battery to charge it. I love how smooth this bike is. The suspension was okay. I do think this bike could benefit from being able to change the pedal assist sensitivity. I think it needs a little bit more sensitivity. But other than that, this is a pretty solid bike. So on a scale from 1 to 10, I would give this bike an 8.5. So comment below on what you would give this bike on a scale from 1 to 10. Any other e-bike you want me to review, also comment below. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.